policemen know how to practice restraint when they want to. This situation was one that I could have never made up. I could have never imagined at that moment that something would have happened so fast after an argument between a friend and another person who actually pulled out a gun. And I defused the situation. And I got back in the car. My friend actually had a licensed weapon in the car. I wasn't tripping. We never had issues. People know I'm down here. One of his friends actually work in the department. So when they pulled up and they pulled out their guns, it caught me off guard. So immediately, I look to my right, I look to my left, I see cops or whatever, and the gun was sitting right there, and they saw it. So one of the lady cops came over and was like, "Hey, aren't you Mario or whatever?" At that point, I just had my hands up and I got out of the car. But the point is that they can practice restraint whenever they want to. The fact of the matter is that most cops don't. In that moment, something could have happened. That cop saw who I was, and she didn't do anything. She told him to stand down or whatever when she saw who I was. So for me, I've witnessed cops being able to, hold back, their instincts or whatever they want to do because another cop steps in, and that doesn't happen in a lot of cases, but because of who I was, that happened. For me, when I see these situations it's like, I feel not guilty, but I'm like, if I wasn't a singer, and not even just across the board as a young melanated man in America, if we're not singing, if we're not dancing, if we're not, acting. And I'm from Baltimore, where I live. We've had a lot of police. You think about Freddie Gray that happened years ago. That put the city upside down. The cops that patrol communities need to either be from the community, they need to be familiar with the community, or their partners need to be familiar with the community and how to diffuse situations, when to know when to react with lethal force, and to know when not to react with lethal force.
Talk to us about Rewrite It, because I think it's really interesting. You're coming out with this song, and obviously you've been inspired by the things you've seen.
Well, I've been inspired by just the idea of sovereignty and the idea of rewriting the narrative. I think that in today's society, it's so easy for narratives to become a thing with the internet and social media, and I think that it's important that for people who understand that as a system as a whole, the system's broken, not just for melanated people, but for everybody. Yeah, that record is a powerful record that inspires personal strength. I think right now people need to feel uplifted. People, even in fighting for something that feels that it's going to be a long marathon of a fight, people need to feel like there's hope, and people need to feel strength within themselves. So that's what that record represents.